Hey everybody, welcome back to KF Trades. This video is a quick video just going over the indices and where I think we're at and where we're headed in the short term. And hope you enjoy it. Let's get out there and make some money. Okay everybody, I'm just going to walk through the indices and kind of tell you what I'm thinking, where the resistance is at, and what I think our next move might be. So here we're looking at a yearly chart on the Dow. I have my downtrend, and we've been hugging it the last 2 days. It went down through it yesterday, popped back up, and closed right near it. Today, same thing. We're just grinding a little bit lower. But look at the volume we had today. A little bit higher volume. Last time we had that much volume, over 600 million, was right here, and then we had a nice pop. So maybe we'll get a bounce in the next week or two, kind of get a little bit of a reprieve, and then see what happens from there. But this line right here, this resistance line, was a pre-pandemic high from February 2020, just before the pandemic drop. And we were almost touching it today. I thought for sure we'd go down there and hit it and bounce, but we're so close. I think it got to within 100 points. So that's what I'm expecting in the Dow. Hopefully everything else will kind of bounce too, but let's take a look at the SPY. Okay, so here we are in the SPY 1-year chart. Volume's still been pretty steady. I didn't see a big spike in volume on that today. But that one's been really oversold all through here. Got this nice little round over bounce, then back down. A lot of people, analysts, are calling for 3,500, which is another 5% probably below the low of today, which I would be ecstatic if that was the bottom. I don't want it to go down to the 338, which was the high from February of 2020, which seems to be happening in a lot of the charts, a lot of stocks. Amazon's already trading below that level. That's what they're talking about. And Apple possibly get into that, but that's a long ways down, so I don't know. We'll have to see on that one. So those are the areas I'm watching. This was the 358, 360 area was one spot I was watching for a bounce. Didn't quite get there today. Didn't have a lot of volume on this one today. But we're already over a 32% pullback on this one too. So hopefully those areas will hold. Hopefully it stops right around the 3,500 on this pullback if we do get down there for this bear market and then start to recover. Okay, here we're watching the Qs. This is a 1-year chart. I know it looks really busy with all my resistance lines, but it helps me to keep track of that stuff, and it's amazing how much they come into play. Okay, so we're well over a 43% pullback. That was over here. We're well past that. This resistance we're up against right now goes back to the basically kind of the high in July of 2020. So this was after the run up in the pandemic. Got some resistance right there at the high. Came back. Hit it through here. A couple of times right here. When this pulled back, it hit it here and then took off again. So the Qs, hopefully that might hold right there and bounce around a little bit. Or, 237, 238 area is going to be the February 2020 high area. God, I hope it doesn't go down that far. But the stochastic and everything, relative strength, Everything's looking oversold. I just think we're due for a bounce in a lot of these. So like I said, we had this big move down, this gap up right here. We kind of filled it a couple days ago. I'd like to see this area, this resistance right here, hold a little bit. At least for a couple of weeks. Maybe we get a push up in through the 9-day and 20-day. Kind of towards the 298 area. If we get another little bounce up, play around for the next couple of weeks until earnings start, and then see where things end up. Okay, now we're going to look at the Russell 2000. And this one has really pulled back. It's already pulled back 50.2% at the low yesterday from its all-time high. So we've had a substantial pullback in this one. Hopefully, this area we're at right now is right here, kind of the resistance right here, back in October of 2020. I bet you if we extend that line just a little bit, comes up to a little bit of resistance back over this way, back in 2019. But we may have a little bit more downside in this one if everything decides to pull back. But what we did do is we filled this gap right here. Because right here, back in November of 2020, when a couple of things gapped up, this gapped up big time and took off. We just filled that gap the last 2 days. So kind of like I was pointing out in some charts in some previous videos, I like to see it fill those gaps, and then we could possibly get a rebound. So hopefully that might be a bottom in that one for right now.